Welcome to the Veronica Edwards Show, where we have fun, financial conversations that everyone listening can apply to their personal and professional life. I'm your host, Veronica Edwards, and I'm so excited to be back here, season 5 in 2025. And we are 100% independent. We are producing the show now with Balance Virtually, LLC, my accounting and consulting business. So we are very excited. And for you to listen to any of the shows this season or prior shows, you can go to balancevirtually.com or you can go to veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com. So let's jump into today's show because I'm super excited. So this is our first family edition show of the season. So we have a very beautiful young lady, my blonde twin flame, and my cousin on the show. This guest is the owner of Atmosphere Collective, where they transform spaces into unforgettable experiences. From corporate gatherings to life's most cherished celebrations, Atmosphere Collectives crafts immersive atmospheres that leave a lasting impression. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce my beautiful, amazing cousin, Miss Sheronne Byrd-Milton. Hey, Sheronne.
Hey, how are you?
We are
Hey,
amazing. Thank
this
you
is super
so.
exciting.
Thank you for coming on. Sheronne was supposed to come on season 4, but because of Hurricane Helene, we had to reschedule. So I appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule. As you guys can see, Sheronne is taking time from her 9 to 5 to interview with me. So I really, really, really appreciate that, cousin. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Family
Yes.
first.
All day. FOE, we say family over everything. So I always start the show, Sheronne, with new guests because you've never been on the show before to tell us all about you, where you're from, and how you started as an entrepreneur with Atmosphere Collective.
Okay. Well, here we go, everyone. My name is Sheronne Byrd-Milton, as you already know. I'm from New Jersey, South Jersey to be exact. Um, my business started in 2020 after prior years of people calling me, can you do my event? Can you organize this? Can you manage that for me? So when COVID happened, a friend of mine, it actually started from an interior design aspect. A friend of mine needed to redo her home office, and she was working from home. And that went so well, and she actually happened to be a business coach. She was like, why don't we do your business? Why don't you start your business? So I went through that coaching process. It was like 20 weeks, and Atmosphere Collective came out of 2020. And here we are.
Wow. So many people have that story where it just organically happened. And so that's why I really encourage a lot of people. If you see something in somebody, encourage them. Because I'm sure if someone didn't push you, you probably would have just been like, oh, this is just a hobby. But I tell people a
Right.
hobby doesn't make you no money. Hobby is just
Mm-hmm.
fun. And I know Sheronne is very luxurious, honey. And anytime I see Sheronne, I'm like, I want to be Sheronne when I grow up. And we the same age. Always cute, put together, events always nice, and that's the whole Milton Taylor clan. You guys always do amazing events. So I know you got some stories. I know you kind of just skipped over. I'm from South Jersey, blah blah. Tell me more about South Jersey because Sheronne is married to my cousin Anton Milton. So we gotta give a little shout out.
Yeah,
So tell me a
that's
little.
okay.
Shout out to Antoine. And so, South Jersey, you've always been in Jersey. And what
hmm
were your interests growing up? Were you always into design and looks?
I was always into curated spaces. Like, it's not just, oh, there's a table, there's a chair. Like, oh my God, do you see how that table is crafted? The
Mm-hmm.
details that sometimes are taken for granted, the quality of a thing that's sometimes taken for granted is stuff that always attracted me. I think I attribute that to my grandmother on Eleanor. I mean, she was a classy woman, and I believe that she taught me most of everything that I know regarding um, refinery, style, elegance, and quality. Because you can have something, um, you can pick a chair, like I said, or a table, but you can get it for $5 and you'll have $5 quality. Or you can get it for $500 and have it for $500 quality and have it for a lifetime.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I'm going through that now, Sheronne, where I'm working with a church member of mine so that she does the interior design for the church and the church school. And I just needed somebody to help me put it together. I'm truly an accountant. I see black, white. Sheronne, you would hate me. I'm that chick. If I see something I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get it in blue and in red and but get the same thing. So I don't have that creative brain. So I love that about you, that it's just in you. And, shout out to Grandma Eleanor. I feel like we have lost that over the years where family has like handed down some of those traditions. So I hope we
Mhm.
kind of get back to some of those things. I love that you've been doing this since you've been, a little girl. It's always
Yeah,
been in
like,
you.
yeah, even down from paper dolls. Remember playing with paper dolls and, their
Yes.
outfits and all that kind of thing? And I actually went to high school thinking I was going to be a fashion designer, and my teacher was a little too slow for me, so then I divvied away. But, I still like style. I still like even dressing, just the whole
Hmm.
thing. It's a whole experience from what you put on to where you're at.
Yes. So let's talk about some of the misconceptions about event planning that you would like to debunk. What are some of the misconceptions? 'Cause I think a lot of times when people, especially hear luxury event planning, of course, they start thinking money, they start thinking it has to be so over the top. So, what are some misconceptions you can share with the listeners?
Some of the misconceptions are, that it starts like the day of the event, like
Oh,
the planning and all that kind of thing, or just making it pretty. Like there's so many elements that go into that. The vendor management, logistics, guest
yes.
management, planning what's going to happen at the event and make sure it runs seamlessly. So it's so much more than making it look pretty. And you don't necessarily have to be creative to be event planner. You got to
Mm,
just be a multitasker and very organized and know how to manage people.
yeah.
You got to definitely have people skills, because there's event productions that have you can just be an event producer and then you can also hire an event designer. So
I'm
there's
glad
so
that you
many
said
jobs
that.
within that.
I feel like I'm an event producer because, Sharon,
Yeah.
I don't think you were able to make it to my mom's retirement party about 5 years ago,
Mhm.
but I put that together, and you're right. It was just project management. It was just
Yeah.
making sure, okay, you get a good venue, so you don't have to do too much to it, and then you're just making sure, okay, do I have the band? Do I have the food?
Mhm.
Is this happening? Is this paper? So let me ask you this, Sharon. For example, we are your stereotypical Black family. So we have family reunions every year with the t-shirts in a park doing the most.
What?
So everybody
Okay.
know, shout out to the Palmer Smith. Shout out
Yeah,
to the
shout
Palmer
out to the
Smith family
Palmer Smith
reunions.
family. We love y'all.
Yes. It's in Atlanta next year. So, or this year. Question: when we have an event in July, how far out for this? And this is like a what, 3 day, 2.5 day event. If you were planning this reunion, how far out would you need to plan?
Well, being that I'm a part of a region, I think we are the Mid-Atlantic region. Shout
Hmm.
out to our leader, our chairwoman, Betty Milton, whoop whoop, who is my
My
dear
mother-in-law, my
mother-in-law.
cousin. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
she's amazing. We've actually been kind of planning since the last time we had it during COVID, I believe. So, realistically, I would say no less than a year, because you're dealing with a large group of people and venues. You want to secure venues at least a year ahead, again, for that large group of people. So for something of that magnitude, the least amount of time of planning would be a year. The most amount of time would be for a family reunion, especially because we have different regions and regional leaders and all that kind of thing. I suggest putting pen to paper right after your reunion.
Wow. You're right, because I sit on the board of a nonprofit here in Western North Carolina, and we try to do like a fundraising gala every year. And it seems like as soon as we end one event, we're like, okay, let's go ahead and book the same venue for next year. Let's
Yeah.
get our committee together so we can do all the things and get different, ideas and thoughts and all that fun stuff. But you're right, it takes a year, even if you're not doing something every month, just to make sure you have the venue. And then after you have the venue, you can plan all the things.
Really, really smart to do it while it's fresh, while you're still with a certain brand or vendor, while the relationship is budding. You can
Hmm.
cultivate that and build a partnership where this year you might not have gotten the big discount, but you might get a little more of a discount next year if you're building those brand partnerships and all that kind of thing. So it does matter when you build those relationships and when you make those connections fast. So then if you decide you want to use the vendor again, it's fresh. Oh, it was such a good experience. We would love to have you. You know what I mean? We would love to service your party.
I love that. So now, what trends, Sharon, that you see in event and design lifestyle experience that you're currently excited about? What's happening that the listeners are like, okay, this is the latest trends?
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited with my millennials, even though I'm at the top of the hill there.
We
I'm
right at
excited.
the top
Yeah,
here.
I'm at the
Yeah,
cusp. I claim you a little bit, okay,
yeah, yeah.
but um, I love that we are working smarter, not harder. I know I have a
Absolutely.
wedding coming up, and the birth of the QR codes has been
Girl.
amazing. I have a wedding coming up, and my couple have decided to use a QR code to scan for the guests can scan to find their seats.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And so it makes them a part of the experience. So the trend that I'm finding is a lot of events are finding ways to make their guests a part of the experience.
yes.
And it's more immersive, it's more interactive, it's more a socially engaging. It's
Mhm.
not just coming and sitting down into like a beautiful atmosphere. That's wonderful, but it's also about connecting with others and social
Yes.
engagement.
And I feel like we've lost that so much with social media. And then, especially after COVID, we were so isolated. And so I like that we're able to do that, but also save a coin because I'm also
Right.
seeing now. I'm very, grew up old school with events where you mail out your invitations and then you send the
Hmm.
stamp for the return and the RSVP. Now I'm just getting these beautiful digital invitations. Are you feeling that, Sharon? Are you like,
Oh, I
yeah,
love that, especially because when I got married like 16 years ago, a lot of my invitations got lost in the mail. So
yes,
I'm enjoying
yes.
this digital age. However, another misconception is technology replacing people, and I would say absolutely not. I think technology is supporting more people, with more effective social engagement. We're always going to need a personal touch.
Absolutely. And so when you mentioned that, that made me think we have so much in common. We both got married 16 years ago. We both have
Hmm.
soon to be 10-year-old children. We're both natural blondes. Everyone doesn't see it now, but it's coming back soon.
And
And we
mine will
both
be
wear
more
amazing
defined soon.
glasses. You inspired me to do the cat eye too, because I remember you had some bad cat eye glasses so years ago. I was like, Sharon always comes with the good glass. Part of that design that
Hmm.
is just in you to do. So, ooh, so I love that. So I just had a wedding where it was canceled because of Hurricane Helene. I was like, oh man. And so I just got an invitation from that person again. Again, it was digital. Also, I like that they're providing information to where we can just provide money, different gifts. They're
Hmm.
packaging it in a way where it makes it easy for folks as well. Is there any do's or don'ts when it comes to, especially like you mentioned, a wedding? Because sometimes people feel like, well, is it tacky for me to ask people to donate towards, our honeymoon or things? I don't see nothing wrong with it. But is there ever, or when you say no children or this or that, are there some proper etiquettes or is it just whatever you want your experience to be, it can work?
Absolutely. And when it's the no children, I always tell the couples, and with the help of ChatGPT, woo woo, shout out to whoever created that.
I love it.
While we love you, children, this is going to be an adult event. And so, we please ask that, just adults only,
Yes. Yeah.
and there's a way to say that. I mean, I've always was raised, even as a child, you can pretty much say whatever you need to say. It's just the way you say it.
Yep.
So, you can pretty much do anything. Even when asking for monetary gifts, there's a way to ask for that. I think even with contributing to the honeymoon and things like that, people are asking for help with their mortgages, their down payments on homes now.
What?
Yeah, yes. So, and I think that, yes, and even like Home Depot stuff. So guests also want to feel a part of, and people don't mind investing or
Hmm.
gifting if they know what they're gifting to.
That's true. So sometimes we
And
feel
so,
like we don't want to say too much, but you need to tell the story.
right, tell the story, and then they're a part of something. Especially when it comes to weddings. And I'm gonna just say this to all y'all listening, especially when it comes to weddings. Do not invite people that y'all don't talk to all year long. This is not that. Don't
Why,
waste your
girl?
money on that. Okay? I know they might be connected so and so, but you want to invite people that love y'all, that's going to
Yeah.
invest in y'all, that's there for the right reasons. Because people that just come to see, or it's their first date, don't pay for that plate.
That's how I think about it. It's like you are per plate. And I remember some years ago, I think I saw like Good Morning America where people were suing folks like you RSVP and didn't come. You owe me this amount. I won't go to that extreme. But I feel you. It's like you want to have people there that you want to, have this experience with, not just because, yes, I get sometimes it's because of parents, friends, and things like that. But just like you said, I'm sure your parents' friends, they're talking to them all throughout the year. It shouldn't just
Right.
be, oh, you're my new coworker. Come. Not
You know,
always.
especially nowadays, like, again, there's an event that I have coming up. The plate is 225 a person. For kids, it's half off. So guess what? It should be no kids. And this is not your first date.
So, Sheronne, before we go, we always like to provide different tips and jewels to the listeners. And this is going to air the end of April. So, everybody's going to be
Okay.
flying out. Sheronne is in southern New Jersey, but she will travel anywhere, darling, if you need a luxurious
Yep.
event planned.
I'll be going
But
anywhere.
period. So I would love if you could give any advice to those aspiring event planners, entrepreneurs looking to enter that luxury event space. What advice would you give them?
Network. My advice I would give to network. Don't be afraid to even intern with a luxury event brand that you admire. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Um, and just get out there. Sometimes you got to take risks, and always,
Yes,
always educate. Always, always educate. Always, get out there, meet people, and I'm telling you, it's hard work, but you'll get there.
absolutely. And I feel like people don't realize they already have a network of their family. It could be your church family, your biological family, your friends, your job. A lot of times, like you said with your story, it's you'll work on one thing and then it opened the door to something else. But if you don't ever put yourself out there, how would you ever know?
And my other thing is, don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort circle,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
your client might not always be in your circle, and don't be disappointed by that. Don't be discouraged by that. Be able to be okay with that, because everybody that's close to you might not be your ideal client. So understand who your ideal client is, and so you won't be disappointed, and be okay being okay with not having to take everything.
Yes. I love that, Sheryl. I can talk to you all day. We already to the end of the show. And I want to thank you so much for taking time on your busy day. If anybody's going to watch this on YouTube, you will see that Sheryl took time off of her full-time job to take time for her cousin to come on the show. And I really appreciate that. So if you could still please share with the listeners, how can we utilize your services? How can we get in contact with you? Because again, you do amazing, amazing events. So please, all your handles, all your social media stuff.
Instagram, I'm atmosphere__ collective 20. I'm working on rebranding my website, so forgive me. And I'll have Veronica post my phone number and my email for you all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, cousin, for coming on. And I just want to thank the V team, the listeners, for supporting the Veronica Edwards Show. And as I said, you can listen to all prior shows at veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com, or you can go to my website, balancevirtually.com. And we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So until next time, stay balanced and financially savvy.